At this point in time, we're going to have each candidate ask each other a question by draw. Warren, you have the first question tomorrow, please.
Sure. Maura, last year, over 100 children were killed by accident by guns. Every hour of every day, somewhere in America, a young child is injured as a result of a gun accident. Smart gun technology, which is the fingerprint technology that's on the gun handle, can actually limit or certainly in some instances would have prevented these incidents. We're all for comprehensive solutions to the gun problem that's affecting our communities. Why won't you agree with me and Scott Harshbarger, who promulgated the original gun regulations when he was Attorney General, that instead of waiting for the legislature to act, as you say you will, that the Attorney General should act, and we can agree that this can be done in the first few months of whoever's the next Attorney General?
Well, you know, Warren, you were absolutely right about gun violence. It breaks my heart, and I've spent a lot of time, most recently with kids in Boston, where I live, who are talking about how gun violence is ravaging their communities. And you know, the way I come to this, first of all, I know you don't like to accept yes as an answer. I agree with you on smart gun technology. We need to make that happen. My view, though, is that smart gun technology, that's for guns that are made going forward. I'm focused on that, but I'm focused on more than that, because we need to deal with the fact that there are 300 million guns out there right now in existence, many of them owned illegally. And that's why I'm such a supporter of a much more comprehensive solution. I think, you know, you have an idea, it's a single idea. I support the idea of smart gun technology, but you got to do more. Let's enforce the new gun trafficking law, gun reform bill that was just passed, which gives police the ability to work with an attorney general to cut down on gun trafficking, to give police the resources to trace guns and solve crimes, to get resources to children, particularly for early childhood anti-violence intervention, to get resources to those who need them for mental health issues, because it's important that we keep guns out of the hands of people who are a danger to themselves or to others. As Attorney General, my job will be to enforce that law, and that means getting us signed up for that national criminal background database and implementing this really, really important piece of legislation. I was pleased and proud to have the support of Jack McDevitt, the leading criminologist from Northeastern, who advised the legislature on that.
You have to jump in if you want.
Specifically, this is an instance, this particular part, and all of what you're saying I agree with, as you know. But this is something
I'm glad,
that
because
the
you've
Attorney
talked
General...
about this as a single idea, when I think we need a comprehensive approach.
I agree, and I have a comprehensive approach on my website, warrentolman.com. But this is something that the Attorney General of Massachusetts can unilaterally impose. The technology was developed in Massachusetts by Smith & Wesson. They wanted to sell it. The NRA organized a boycott of Smith & Wesson products, and it hasn't been available. People try to sell this in Massachusetts, they get in the United States, they get death threats. The Attorney General of Massachusetts unilaterally issuing a regulation can require this technology to be sold. It may only be one gun. It may only be one life, we say, but it may be the most important life to you if it's your niece or nephew or some relative.
In the interest of time, if you have a question for Warren, we'd love to have you issue that.
Absolutely, but I want to be clear with the public that I support smart gun technology. I'll work to make that happen. You know, in terms of your position on this, Warren, you know, you talk about your toughness to the NRA, but yet a couple weeks ago before the Lowell Sun editorial board, your position on smart gun technology was, yes, let's make it available, but if nobody ever buys it, so be it. So I don't think that's very tough. I certainly don't think that's comprehensive, and it's not going to get us where we need in terms of solving crimes and helping children here in this state.
So let me be clear. My position is, as it's always been, I was talking about retrofitting existing guns. The Attorney General of Massachusetts, as he or she regulates toy guns or toy teddy bears, cannot regulate existing toy teddy bears, cannot regulate existing guns. That's outside the purview. It's only for new guns sold in the Commonwealth. But you know what? This will release that technology that will be out there, and then people can retrofit if they want, which will be fantastic, and it will save lives. And I say, let's take on the NRA. Let's stand up to them. We can't wait any longer for this. There's too many kids being hurt.
All right, I'll be quick. I'm not sure the reference to teddy bears. We're talking about gun violence here. And you got to be, and you know, when it comes to regulation, look, only one of us up here has ever drafted regulation, enforced regulation, or defended regulation. I come with that experience. You don't. but nobody's going to be a stronger advocate. You know, gun violence is to me, Warren, it's a public health crisis. It's a civil rights issue.
Absolutely.
It requires a solution that is comprehensive, where you've got a lot of things that got to happen at the same time.
Both done a great job of tackling a very complicated issue, but you've eaten up the whole time for the segment on the one topic. But thank you for the vigorous exchange. We'll be right back.